Today on MTG Unpacked, we're getting stuck into the Pioneer Challenger decks, starting with Izzet Phoenix. So that is the blue-red color combo. So take a look here. Rise from the ashes, take control of the early game, then cast tons of spells to awaken your slumbering monsters and scorch your foe with Arclight Phoenix. So we get a 60-card deck, 15-card sideboard, and deck box. So I like how they've got some shiny packaging here. So let's get into it. So we've got a pull tab on the top. Who ordered the extra spicy chicken? Okay, great sense of humor per usual. They like to do that with these. You get a shiny deck box, just cardboard alas. And we've got a divider here, so I'm assuming you could just sleeve everything up and it would still fit. Here is the deck proper. We've got a nice Phoenix divider. And I'm guessing, yeah, that's a sideboard and some tokens separate. Okay. So what is this about? So we've got a small poster here. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Okay, so this is basically just advertising, yeah. So there's 4 decks. We'll be taking a look at each one this weekend. Okay, so let's get into it. So is this something you have picked up previously? Do you play Pioneer or you're looking to get your start? This is probably a great way of doing that. So one of these days I'll get into the deck. There we go. Alright, so let's see what this thing is all about. Actually, we'll cut that in half. It's a bit bulky. So starting off with Thing in the Ice from Shadows over Innistrad. Creature Horror 0/4 for 2 has Defender. It enters battlefield with 4 ice counters on it. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, remove an ice counter from Thing in the Ice. Then if it has no ice counters on it, transform it. So it transforms into a 7/8. What is it? Awoken Horror. Creature Kraken Horror 7/8. When this creature transforms into Awoken Horror, return all non-horror creatures to their owner's hands. It serves as evidence of the ancient power of the deep, a reminder that the sea is the only thing worthy of reverence. Says Runo Stromkirk. So I remember when this was in Standard, so that one was a lot of fun. So we got a couple of those. And by the way, these decks are going for about 45 to 50 bucks US. So a bit pricier than the standard Challenger decks. Next up, we've got Arclight Phoenix. So that's why they've named it Izzet Phoenix. It's a mythic creature Phoenix. 3/2 for 4 with flying and haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast 3 or more instant and sorcery spells this turn, return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it keeps bouncing back. That's awesome. Some storms never blow over. Okay, so we've got 2 of those. And that's it. Okay, so the meta version of this deck actually has 4. So that's probably an easy upgrade suggestion, although they're not that cheap actually. Next up, we've got Sulphur Falls. It's a land, enters battlefield tapped unless you control an island or mountain. Tap for blue or red. So get some mana fixing going on there. 2 of those. Temple of Epiphany. Same deal. Enters tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1. Tap for blue or red. So are we going to get 4 of those? Yes, we are. Okay. Shivan Reef. Tap for colorless. Tap for blue or red. It deals 1 damage to you. Okay, so we're probably going to get a complete play set. Yep, 4 of those. Steam Vents. Nice. Okay, so we've got some Shockland action here. Tap for blue or red. As it enters battlefield, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters battlefield tapped. Okay, just 1 of those. All right. Crackling Drake. Creature Drake. Star 4 for 4 with flying. Its power is equal to the total number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. And when it enters battlefield, draw a card. Okay, so a couple of those. We got 4 of those. Very good. Izzet Charm, instant for 2. Choose 1, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Or Izzet Charm deals 2 damage to target creature or draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Okay, so a mix of options there depending on what you want to do at that point in the game. 3 of those. Oh, I've got expressive iteration, which you might be saying, why is this here? This is actually banned in Pioneer. So this is one of those situations where they're like, if you have the deck as is, this is legal, but if you change a single card, then it's not. So I would probably toss these and chuck in 2 of the Phoenixes. That's the way to go, I think. So it's a sorcery for 2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, put 1 of them on the bottom of your library, and exile 1 of them. You may play the exiled card this turn. Okay, so you get not 1, but 2 of those guys. Chart a course. Sorcery for 2. Draw 2 cards and discard a card unless you attacked with a creature this turn. Okay, so how many of these? We've got 4 of those. Okay, Lightning Axe. So you can see tons of instants and sorceries to bulk up the Drake. It's an instant for a single red. As an additional cost, cast this spell, discard a card, or pay 5. Lightning Axe deals 5 damage to target creature. Okay, so there's 1 there, and I can see we've got a few more. So, how many? Probably, just 3 of these. Alright. Fiery Impulse. Instant for a single red. It deals 2 damage to target creature, has Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, Fiery Impulse deals 3 damage to that creature instead. Okay, so we're really taking advantage of that. We've got tons of instants and sorceries. Flame Blessed Bolt, instant for a single red. It deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. Okay, 2 of those. Consider, instant for a single blue. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Draw a card. Okay, so complete play set of those. Treasure Cruise. Sorcery for 8 has Delve. So each card you exile from your graveyard while casting this spell pays for 1. Draw 3 cards. Okay, good, because we need the card draw here. So we've got 4 of those. Opt, instant for a single blue. Scry 1 and draw a card. Okay, so 4 of those. Pieces of the Puzzle. Sorcery for 3. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put up to 2 instant and or sorcery cards from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. And again, tons of instants and sorceries here. So it was just 3 of those. Right. And then islands, we've got 6 of those, and mountains, 4 of those. Okay, so you've got mostly dual lands here. So this looks like a pretty spicy deck. Let's take a look at the sideboard. So usually sideboard, you get a bunch of options to game 2 and 3. So once you know what your opponent is playing in the first couple of games, you can switch things up to better deal with their deck. So this one we have Sweltering Suns. Sorcery for 3. It deals 3 damage to each creature. Has Cycling for 3. So you can get some extra card draw if you need it. 2 of those. A Braid, instant for 2. Choose 1. It deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. Again, if you're up against an artifact heavy deck, that might be good. 3 of those. Lava Coil, sorcery for 2. It deals 4 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. 2 of those. Mystical Dispute, instant for 3. It costs 2 less to cast if it targets a blue spell. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Okay, so a bit of control here creeping in. 4 of those. Invasive Surgery, instant for a single blue. Counter target sorcery spell, and it has Delirium. So if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, search the graveyard, hand, and library of that spell's controller for any number of cards with the same name as that spell. Exile those cards. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Okay, so we've got 1 of those. Oh, and a Planeswalker. Narset, Parter of Veils, legendary Planeswalker Narset, 5 loyalty for 3. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. And the -2 is look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay, so... oh, okay, we've got 3 of those. Alright, so some nice options in the sideboard. And then we'll take a look at the tokens. So yeah, this is more of a, like a sorcery instant aggro deck. So really fast paced. So we've got a treasure token. Tap, select this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. On the other side, we've got a clue token, which is interesting because I don't think anything in this deck actually generates those. So pay 2, select this artifact, draw a card. Okay, treasure, clue. Honestly, not sure why they had those. And then we've got double face cards. So this is if you're playing without sleeves, which usually you would not want to do that with a higher price deck like this. Okay, so this actually looks pretty good. This is my favorite of the 4, I must say. And if you want to upgrade it, I would just swap out those expressive iterations for 2 more Phoenixes. Then you've got something that looks a bit more like the meta deck. So if you want to check out the Pioneer meta, you can look that up on MTG Goldfish. I'll check a link in the corner in case you want to see that. Stay tuned, we'll be taking a look at the other 3 Challenger decks shortly. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. Are you planning to pick it up? Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.